Bow.
Right.
Show, I'm Jay, that's Steve.
Hi, how you doing?
It's been a bit.
Yep. And by the way, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
Uh-huh.
Yes, 25 years ago, Toonami
No, this
was
show's not
born.
that old. Anyways, let's get on to it by telling you what was on Toonami this past week. On Shenmue, the animation, Ryo meets Liao Shotao, the person he was looking for. Liao Shou, a martial arts master, easily defeats Ryo and tells him to go home, thinking he lost because he does not have enough strength. Ryo goes around Hong Kong to find a martial artist. On the second thing, when no one's left on the island, Shiganshina full of titans. The scouts must battle their former comrades. In the midst of it all, Gabby is determined to find and rescue Falco at whatever cost. On Necessitating Classroom, Principal Asano recalls his first foray into the world of education, and the drama festival, the E-Class, puts on a play with a few unexpected twists. On Rated Abyss, Reg and Rico run into trouble deep in the fourth layer where they meet an interesting creature, but are they friend or foe? On One Piece, with their backs against the wall, the Straw Hats are forced to take King Neptune and his men hostage. On the other side of their palace, Luffy and the Mermaid Princess make plans to visit the Sea Forest. On One Piece, Luffy accidentally kidnaps the Mermaid Princess, an old friend issues a grave warning to Shepherd's Entry, and a new Fishman Briar to prepare for a raid on Ryugu Palace. Han, the British Forbidden, Naruto and Minato combine their powers to perform a Sage Jutsu attack on Obito. Obito decides to speed up his plan to perform the infinite Tsukuyomi and summons the Divine Tree. Han, cavalry up! While Spike's away at the ship overhauled, Chet and the other squad are a group of criminals called the Starship Pirates, known for stealing anything and everything. Should be an easy job, but it turns out they're a group of hackers. And that's your Toonami preview. And now, back to Steve for the rest of the show.
All right, thank you, Brain. And folks, we got some very late-breaking news. As you know, Adult Swim is celebrating 25 years of Toonami and is commemorating the occasion. The network has announced 3 new originals that will be airing on the block. The network picked up 2 more seasons of Fooly Cooly, titled Fooly Cooly Grunge and Fooly Cooly Shoegaze. Both are slated to air in 2023, and Adult Swim will create a new original titled Housing Complex C that, according to a press release, will premiere later this year. Now, all that is known about the new Fooly Cooly series is who will be working on them. According to, once again, the famous press release from Adult Swim, Fooly Cooly Grunge is directed by Hitoshi Takakiyo and animated by Mont Blanc Pictures. Fooly Cooly Shoegaze is directed by Yutaka Yumura and animated by production IGXNUT. Both Fooly Cooly series are all executive produced by Mr. DeMarco and produced by Makai Terashima Futura, production IG USA. DeMarco also took to Twitter explaining how these new Fooly Cooly installments will be their own takes on the material. That was a promo for Fooly Cooly Grunge that was published, is a short one informing fans to wait till 2023, while there was no promo for Fooly Cooly Shoegaze. Jason DeMarco mentioned that it would have the same premiere year as Fully Cooley Grunge. And as for those who are interested, Adult Swim sent out key art for the 2 Fully Cooley series that are coming to Toonami. And I gotta tell you, the art is fantastic. For those curious about Housing Complex C, the press release from Adult Swim gave a small synopsis as follows. It centers around Kimi, who lives in a small, low-cost housing complex located in the seaside town of Kurosaka, where trouble seems to follow her wherever she goes and horrific incidents begin to occur. Is an ancient evil stalking the residents of Housing Complex C? The series is directed by Yuji Nara with script and original concept by Amphibian. The animation studio is Akatsuki. So not bad. And they're showing some art on that one. By the way, there wasn't no date given for Fully Cooley Shoegaze when Jason Marco mentioned on Twitter that fans should expect Fully Cooley Shoegaze in 2023, just like Fully Cooley Grunge. And don't forget the Toonami Faithful podcast. We'll have more on this, but man, oh Manischewitz, something new coming from the realm. Now, as for the big news, actually not so big, but still it is news. Sony did buy Crunchyroll, and Crunchyroll has now swallowed up Funimation. The big question is, what is this going to do for the shows that presently are shown under the Funimation banner? Are they going to be now plastered with the Crunchyroll emblem? Probably. But this is a good thing in some ways. While it brings down the anime production field to a precious few, Viz is still Viz, but now without Funimation, with it fully going to be known as Crunchyroll LLC, one has to wonder who's going to be on the chopping block. What's going to happen? What is the future going to do for some series and some very big voice artists? Well, we shall have to, as they say, stay tuned. But in a way, this is looking good, because where there was like 3 anime producers, there's now going to be just the big 2. Plus, you got Sensei, Sensei, and a couple of other independent anime makers that can now move into that block, because, as we all know, if Sony's involved, which now Sony owns Crunchyroll and they gobbled up Funimation, Sony's going to try to get things right in that department. We wish them well. Okay, let's get to the world of pro wrestling. Oh, yeah. And what a world it is. Let's hit you up with a possible... Bobby Lashley is scheduled for a WrestleMania 38 match. He suffered an injury during the Royal Rumble match with Brock Lesnar in January, where Lashley won the title. He was then temporarily written off at the Elimination Chamber in February, where Lesnar regained the title, and it was reported that Lashley would be out of action for around 4 months. Fightful Select reports that as of this past weekend, WWE has plans for Lashley versus Omos to take place at WrestleMania 38. The report is interesting, as it was reported earlier today how WWE has plans for Omos to work a singles match at WrestleMania. While no opponent was named in that report, it was noted that the opponent planned for Omos would surprise a lot of people. Now it's being reported that Omos and Lashley are set to lock it up on the grandest stage of them all. Now, there is no confirmation on Lashley being medically cleared to compete following the shoulder surgery he was reportedly scheduled for in late February. If Lashley does return to the ring at WrestleMania 38, that would mean he's returning ahead of schedule. Not bad. All right, let's give you one more little briefness of news. Well, not one more, but let's tell you how good things went. Friday's taped edition of AEW Rampage drew an average of 398,000 viewers on TNT, according to Nielsen via Showbuzz Daily. This is down 24.33% from the previous week's taped episode, which drew about 500,000 viewers, 526,000 for the post-Revolution show. Rampage drew a 0.13 rating in the key 18 to 49 demographic, down 41% from the previous week's episode, which drew a 0.22 rating in the key demo. Friday's 0.13 key demo represents about 166,000 viewers, 18 to 49, which is down 41% from the 282,000 viewers, 18 to 49, that last week's 0.22 key demo rating represented, according to WrestleNomics. So right now, it's sort of evening out with the viewership tracker. January 7th episode went 588,000 viewers, and the March 18th episode, 398,000 viewers. So there is a steep climb, or a steep lowering. But we'll never know. Till next week, of course, they're going to have a live version of Rampage this week. Let's get you some more wrestling news before we head up to a little bit of cheesy info. CM Punk has been a positive influence on Powerhouse Hobbs' career since he arrived at AEW. The two have only had one match against one another when Punk defeated Hobbs on the Grand Slam episode of Rampage from Arthur Ashe Stadium last September, but their relationship has extended far beyond that one match. Hobbs told the Superstar Crossover podcast, "Punk is one of those dudes that after every match that I have that airs, he always sits down and watches it with me. So we sit down together and we break down stuff, so he may get mad, but I told the whole world, Punk, you're that dude." But that match in Arthur Ashe in New York City in front of 20,000 plus people was crazy, and that whole night had a special meaning to me, and Punk knew it because it was about a month since my mom had passed away, so it's just emotions and everything was everywhere, you know. Before that, I think right before the match got announced, or the day the match got announced, he pulled me aside and said, "This is going to be for her. Don't worry about anything else. Nobody else. Just you, me, and her. And for that, I will forever be grateful for." Powerhouse Hobbs joined AEW in 2020. He is able to name a number of individuals who have served as mentors to him during his time in the company. He singled out one of them for having helped him the most, and that is Mark Henry and Billy Gunn. So, wow. Alrighty, let's go for one more little news. And a belated congratulations to Thunder Rosa for winning the AEW Women's Championship from Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. We don't know what's going to come next, but I have a feeling we may see a battle between two champions. Of course, Thunder Rosa, the AEW champ, and Jade Cargill, the TBS champion. Folks, Looks like we're going to have some fun. All right, let's give you a little bit of one more thing. Former AEW World Champion Kenny By God Omega was a big part of the recent DDT and AEW partnership, according to Dave Meltzer in the latest edition of Wrestling Observer Radio. And please, when it's Dave Meltzer, take what he says with a grain of Epsom salts. It was noted that he is friends with people within the organization, and the deal does include Tokyo Joshi Pro, which will allow more talent to work together. Omega has publicly commented on the news via his Twitter account, pushing how pleased he is about the deal. He wrote, quote, DDT, which includes me, has been the best-kept secret in wrestling for over a decade. It only took two of us together to change the entire wrestling landscape from 2010. Now, the next generation is looking to leave an impact. Be ready. Of course, Kenny Omega has a long history with the company, as that was where he began to break out as a wrestler. It was within DDT that he and Kota Ibushi formed the Golden Lovers tag team. Omega has held both tag team and singles titles within the company. Christopher Daniels was the one to officially break the news during DDT's 25th anniversary show. He appeared giving a video message to the fans. This is just the latest example of Tony Khan being willing to work with other promotions. Obviously, with the recent news that his Elite Promotions purchase of Ring of Honor, talent will be used within that promotion, but AEW also have had working relationships with New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, and the NWA. So, more good news for AEW. Okay, I think that's going to wrap it up, Brain, for us on this lovely little showgram. So we will hopefully see you next week with a little bit more of the same insanity. We will also count you down to WrestleMania and try to figure out if it's going to be excitement or are they going to lay the biggest egg in the world of professional wrestling.
No, they already did that in 1990.
And what kind of a role will Cody Rhodes play when he is supposedly to debut in this year's WrestleMania? And the biggest question of them all is, will this be the biggest mistake he's ever made? We'll just have to wait and see on that. But, Brain, you got anything more for us?
Nope.
Okay, then that's going to wrap it up. He's the Brain, I'm the Baxman, and we'll see you next week, everybody. This has been a presentation of Brainwave Entertainment in association with Mystifying Creativity Productions and Spreaker from iHeartMedia. See you next week.